Yeah, you read the title right, and yes, I am reusing another school project to make a video. But I am proud of these pieces. So here's another religious sculpture. Still not out of clay. This time we'll be using Bristal board. I'm starting to think we'll never actually use clay in this class. Play the theme song. So this is my sketchbook I've been using to do all my concept sketches and thumbnails for this class. Now our first two projects, first project here, yeah, I'm gonna plug that video, I'm really proud of that piece, was from Genesis. We could choose any verse from there. The second project was from Exodus. We could choose any verse from there. And yes, I know I haven't made any video or anything about that second project. Don't worry, it's coming, it just needs a little more work and a few extra little bells and whistles, if we will. So I naturally assumed that the next project would be in Leviticus. You know, Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus. No! My professor threw me and my whole class for a huge loop as he gave us a specific verse. Isaiah 41:10, verse on screen. I took this and I came up with some concept sketches because I was determined to do something different. I didn't do anything with a hand because it was obvious, and I was able to track down some black Bristal board. So this was my concept sketch. I took this idea and concept and brought it into 3 dimensions with Bristal board. Now, what is Bristal board? This is Bristal board. It's a really, really thick paper. In fact, I've often described it as paper and cardboard fused together. It's phenomenal for inking, and I have some project I really want to do on this paper because I have some extra sheets. And it is a joy to work with. In fact, it even makes this funny sound. Now, Bristal board comes in this 11 by 17 format, but you can also track some down in 11 by 14. Now, I actually used an entire pad of this stuff, all 20 sheets, and I was lucky to actually track down some black Bristal board from Jerry's. This stuff was super cheap. Michaels didn't have it, and AC Moore didn't have it. So if you got a Jerry's near you, definitely check them out. Now, truth be told, this isn't exactly black Bristal board, but it's a very thick paper that is almost identical to Bristal board. It's just not called Bristal board. But it behaves, acts, and works in the same way. Hey, random junk cut, and that's not because I forgot to mention this. I'm a professional YouTuber after all. I couldn't keep a straight face through that. I'm sorry. This is not Bristal board, it is just black paper. It's thicker than normal paper, but it's not Bristal board. And I bought this, asked my teacher if this would be okay, and he said no, that it's more like a construction paper than it is Bristal board. And that's when I found this at Jerry's, and he let me use this. So if you have to specifically use Bristal board, or you're challenging yourself to only use Bristal board, use this material you can get at Jerry's for super cheap. But if you don't have these constrictions like I do, this will probably work just as well. And I have, let's see, 24 sheets of this, and I honestly don't know what I'm going to do with it. Leave a comment actually of what I should do with this paper because it looks really cool, and I kind of am curious what I can do with it. Now, the principle of making this sculpture is going to be the exact same one I used in my first sculpting video where I sculpted paper. You just crumble it up, uncrumble it, and then tear it, cut it, glue it, fold it, all that fun jazz. But I'm going to use these techniques with hot glue to bring my sculpture to life in 3 dimensions. And I gotta say, I'm really proud of this one. It's probably my favorite one. Also, just a heads up before we run the super time lapse, I just shaved my beard last night, and I'm filming this actually after I made the sculpture. So if you see the fact that I have a really, really big bushy beard in the time lapse, but I don't have one now, that's why. So you're still going to point it out and leave a comment, aren't you? Oh well. Roll that B footage. I need to glass for my project, so we'll do some time lapse there. And look at all this work that went into it. And it's done. You know, I am really proud of this piece. It is really good. I'm actually filming this in my classroom right now because I just finished the piece and I'm going to leave it here so I don't have to take it home and risk damaging it. I really like the sculpture. This is probably my favorite thing I've ever sculpted. It turned out really well. I had a lot of fun. There's a lot of great little symbolism in here. For example, the base, as you can see, is smooth but has torn edges, kind of like the illusion of Sin looking nice, but it's, you know, not. The human figure, and yes, he is a human, he is crumbled up white paper, but he has clean edges. And then the wings, which are meant to represent, you know, like God's intervention and like the holiness and all that fun jazz, is not folded. There's no wrinkles in it, and that's to show like the perfection of it. There's no torn edges. And then the base with its shape is also meant to symbolically look like the crown of thorns. So I put a lot of thought into this and it was a lot of fun to do. The real idea and presentation of this was awesome, and I was the only person in my class to use black Bristol board. My teacher really enjoyed this project and hopefully I get an A. I have not been graded yet, but I think I'm gonna do good. So with that said, leave a comment of what you think of this piece. Let me know what you think about the sculpture and let me know what you think about me doing more religious artwork. Again, I'm curious about what you guys think. Also, subscribe to my channel for more art-based content, and you all have a wonderful day. Take care.